Welcome back to another year Behind the Feathers News. I'm your host, Zach Crane.
And I'm your other host, Courtney Ward.
To kick off the new volleyball and football season this year, the Booster Club held its annual fall sports preview. Let's take a look and see how each of the teams are doing this year.
Expectations ran high for football and volleyball programs as they displayed their talent on August 28th at the annual fall sports preview. The junior high volleyball squad kicked off the night while the high school Spikers followed. After the volleyball teams were finished, it was time to eat. The Booster Club grilled hamburgers and hot dogs for all the hungry fans. After the barbecue, everyone made their way out to Margarita Stadium to scout out the high school football team. The sports preview is reassurance that the Canton-Galva athletics is off to another great year.
This attractive concluded season after school ended last year. We would be remiss if we didn't go back and cover their accomplishments.
43 won the meet record, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, Apple Hans of Hill City is probably on the anchor. They're in lane 3, and they are...
One of the bright spots at the end of the last year that Behind the Feathers did not have a chance to show you was the performances by our Canton-Galva athletics at the state track meet held in Wichita at WSU last May. Canton-Galva High School placed well in many events. Garrett Thompson placed second in the high jump with an astonishing school record-breaking 6'8" jump. The 4x8 team was another highlight for Canton-Galva with Jeremy Jansen, James Anderson, Christian Doris, and Nathan Bepley placing second in 2A with a time of 8 minutes and 24 seconds. Justin Smith, Tommy Keyser, James Anderson, and Jeremy Jansen also placed third in the 4x4. Kylie Cannon placed sixth in the girls' 100-meter dash.
The Crime Stoppers, I think we've just witnessed a crime.
I think you're right. Now we need to go report it into our new Crime Stoppers group that we established here in the high school.
The program was first started, Crime Stoppers itself was back in 1979, but the Crime Stoppers program in the high school started in Boulder, Colorado in 1986. And they decided that it would be nice to have a way for students within the school to report crimes or report who they thought had done crimes and be able to maybe get property recovered so there wouldn't be a loss at the school and without giving up their and remaining anonymous.
What did you have stolen?
I had a gold chain and about $5 stolen from me.
Take a bite out of crime. It seems like we've been hearing that slogan for Crime Stoppers for as long as some of us can remember. But for Canton-Galva High School, it has just begun. The administration at CGHS decided to accept this organization because of all the thefts that have been getting gradually worse as the years go on. Last year, the worst year by far, thousands of dollars in cash and miscellaneous items were stolen from students and teachers. Crime Stoppers will be made up of a student board of directors, plus one administrative liaison. A student with any information on a crime can report it and remain anonymous. Student or students report information, and if that information leads to solving a crime, the student may receive an award depending on how serious the crime was.
Here we are, Courtney. This is the beginning of the end for us. Kind of hard to believe that we won't ever have a first day of high school ever again. Let's go see how the students prepared for their first day of high school.
Students new and old flocked to Canton-Galva High for the first day of school on August 18th. Many of the kids' reactions were pretty normal for the first day of school. Many were nervous, some were excited about seeing their friends, and others were just not ready for summer to be over.
When the new year started, it always seems to bring in a new crowd.
Let's find out what the new faces think of CGHS.
1. Everyone knows how it feels to wake up early on the first day of school and feel butterflies in your stomach. Now, imagine that feeling intensified 20 times. If it's your first day of school at a new school where you don't know anyone, you don't know where any of your classes are, and the fear of sitting alone at lunch is scarier than anything. That's probably how the new students and teachers felt when they came to Canton-Galva High School for the first time. There are 3 new students and 2 new teachers this year at CGH.
FBLA decided to kick off the year with a trip to Sports World.
There, they rode the go-karts, teed off at the driving range, and hit the putt-putt course.
Sports World was the destination for this year's annual FBLA kickoff party. It was held on the 20th of August. The idea of the party was to boost membership. It was impossible for the future business leaders to get bored with things like go-karts, putt-putt, and the driving range. There were always things to do. The future business leaders have set two main goals for this year. Everybody had a great time at Sports World, but Mrs. Votes thinks Barnacle Bills will be the place for next year's kickoff party.
I think our major goal for FBLA this year, of course, is just to kind of maintain what we have had. We've had a very successful tradition at Canton-Galva with FBLA, and I just hope to continue that. Membership is down a little bit so far this year, and I think a lot of that is due to the fact that last year we had a conflict with the state conference in spring break, and that really hurt our numbers. And I do want to stress that that is not a conflict this year. Those aren't on the same dates, but I think that kind of has hurt our membership some. So I think just to try to get our membership back up is a big goal, and try to do some of the same projects and hopefully come up with some new and innovative things for this year would be a goal. We have a really good group of officers that I think are very willing and very dedicated to the organization, and we should have a great year. We did try. We went to Sports World and had about 22 people go. We did that like on a Saturday afternoon. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping more freshmen might go, because that's kind of the idea, is for them to kind of get out, and we only had, I think, a couple freshmen actually attend. We are doing the first dance after the football game, and that's kind of another boost that if everybody is, if you're a member of FBLA, you'll get in for for free. Otherwise, you have to pay $1. So that's kind of an incentive to get some more FBLA.
Do you know why the seniors had to take classic pictures this year?
I think it's for the senior slideshow and the composite in case we didn't turn in our pictures on time.
Let's take a look at the pictures.
A little more towards the camera. A little bit more yellow. There you go. You got it. Right up here. Think about the guys. Got it.
Years from now, you'll flip back through some old yearbooks and ask yourself why you lost all those hours of sleep over such small details as the outfit you wore or the way you styled your hair. Picture Day 99 can now be taken off your list for sleepless worries because it took place August 26th. Pictures should be arriving in about a month.
Welcome back to Behind the Feathers for the October edition. Zach and I are out at Maxwell Game Preserve.
This month we decided to change the scenery up a little bit by coming out here to the State Lake.
Let's see how Mr. Cox's band did at the annual band competition held at the State Fair. Here we are once again at the annual Kansas State Fair band competition. Let's see how they do.
On September 15th, the high school band marched their way through the streets of the State Fairgrounds, playing such classics as Louie Louie and Anagata Davida. Although the judges were critical of their performance,
I thought we did really well at the fair. We didn't get the comments from the judges like I'd hope we would. We got 1, 2, and 2 3s, which are still good ratings. 5 is the worst, so we're in the good category. And I thought we did a lot better than we did last year, and we got better ratings last year, but that's the judges. So I think we're coming along really well, and I was really happy with the progress they've made before the fair, and then we've made even more after the fair, and they sounded really great. So.
Even though Grandparents' Day isn't the most talked about holiday, grandparents still need their recognition. Let's take a look and see how some of the kids from Canton-Galva area recognize their grandparents.
Nearly 100 grandparents strolled into the Galva Grade School on the morning of September 13th. No, they weren't re-enrolling, they were going to celebrate Grandparents' Day with the kids. Since Sunday the 12th was National Grandparents' Day, the kindergarten through 5th grade decided to have their grandparents come to school to celebrate and do activities with the kids on that next Monday the 13th. The grandparents did a number of activities throughout the day like scrapbooking and even reading. The kids had fun celebrating Grandparents' Day and hope to do it again next year.
Once again, Anthony was at the high school letting all the kids sample their delicious food. I know what my opinion of was the food. Let's go see some of the others.
Good. Those were the words on everyone's lips when F&E Wholesale came to Canton-Galva High School on September 10th for the annual food sampling. The items on this year's menu were chili cheese fries, Philly steak soup, and spiced applesauce. The purpose of the food sampling is to let students try new things.
I probably do 3 to 4 schools a month. Sometimes we'll go out on a break like this. A lot of times we'll go out at noon, and while they're having lunch, we'll set a table up over to the side and sample. We'll do anywhere from 100 to 1,000 students at a noon time.
This past week, the SAD officers has put on Red Ribbon Week to remind all the students of drinking and driving and the harmful ways that drugs can hurt them.
October 25th through the 29th was Red Ribbon Week for the Canton-Galva schools. On October 20th, Canton Elementary had Rob Simon come and speak about drugs. For the high school, Monday was Red Ribbon Day. Tuesday, the SAD officers tied ribbons around the students' cars. Wednesday, the freshmen viewed a video about the effects of drunk driving, and Thursday was Whiteout Day. About every 20 minutes, a person is killed in a drunk driving accident. In order for students at CGHS to really understand the effects of drunk driving, one person was put in a fictional scenario where a student was killed every 20 minutes. That student was then whited out or dead. No one was supposed to communicate with them for the rest of the day.
Red Ribbon Week, it's just basically making the kids aware of the problems of abuse of drinking and alcohol. We had Whiteout Day, and we had several kids as an example that if they got whited out, they're an example of someone who was killed in the United States by an alcohol-related or drug-related accident. And I think it just made the kids a little bit more aware and, to make a choice, to make a good choice in their healthy lifestyle.
How do you think it turned out? I mean, do you think it made a difference on anybody?
Well, you never really know. Hopefully it made a difference on some people. We really targeted the freshmen this year. We brought them in as a group by themselves, and my officers and I talked to them and showed them a video, and they answered some questions over the video. So we really tried to target the freshmen this year, try to start with that group. And I hope it does make a difference. Whether it does or not, you will not know. We'll probably never know ever if it does, but hopefully it did.
At the beginning of this month, a few CGHS vocal students headed down to Hutchinson to display their musical talent at the annual HOA Vocal Honors Choir. Let's see how they did.
A group of students from Canton-Galva High School's vocal class went to Trinity High School in Hutch for an honors vocal concert on October 7th. Here's a look at some of the kids that went from Canton. Almost 200 students from different schools, including Canton-Galva students, attended. All the kids practiced for 4 long, intense hours with breaks at the hour. They sang about 5 songs. After all the rehearsing was all over, the vocal students put on an excellent concert for parents. The man who spent hours trying to get the students ready was Scott Hayes. Here's a little about him.
My name is Scott Hay, and I teach vocal music at Wichita South. Been in Wichita now for 13 years, and that's where I'm from.
How did you get selected for this?
Ebony Costello, who is the director here at Trinity High School, she's the one that is in charge of the festival this year, and so it's her responsibility to contact a festival director. And this is something I've done for a few years now. I travel around the state, and actually something I really enjoy. I enjoy having the teachers to do all the dirty work, should we say, and teach the notes, and then all the students come and they know the notes, and then I get to do the fun stuff and put it all together. So
Mr. Cox encourages more students to go out for vocal next year.
During the week of homecoming, all the students were geared up. During this week, the cheerleaders put on a pep rally and did Spirit Week. The pep rally involved all the homecoming candidates, and then during Friday's game, the King-Queen were announced. Let's go see who won it.
Friday morning was filled with excitement as everybody waited and prayed that the dark skies wouldn't bring rain. Because if it did, they all knew that the pep rally and parade would be canceled and they would all be forced to stay in class for the remainder of the day. But the weather cleared up and Mr. Pavlovich gave the word to start working on the floats. When all the floats were finished, it was time to go. Mr. Pavlovich gave the announcement and everybody jumped onto the floats. When everybody was accounted for, the procession started on its way. It made its way towards Main Street so that the community could see how much time and effort was put into their floats. The parade ended up at the park where the pep rally was to be held. There was everything, a dance for the cheerleaders, games, and the homecoming royalty. And even Mr. King kissing a pig. The pep rally went great, and everybody had a great time, but it gets better with every year, and I have a feeling next year will be no different.
The night was cool and calm, but there was electricity in the air as the King candidates stood nervously awaiting the arrival of their queens. The girls took a deep breath and waited for their princess to escort them to the 50-yard line. That was the setting for the 1999 Fall Homecoming ceremonies that took place on October 8th at Margreter Stadium. The Queen candidates for this year were Renee Chestnut, Kristen Robinson, and Amanda Westbrook. The King candidates were Seth Eck, Jake Kane, and Jeremy Jansen.
And now, the 1999 Canton-Galva Fall Homecoming King is Jake Kane. And the 1999 Fall Homecoming Queen is Amanda Westbrook.
Give them their stuff. Go give it to him. There you go. Lay it on her now. Lay it on her.
Congratulations to all the candidates.
Meteorologist Mark Larson came and visited some of the grade school students. Let's take a look and see what he had to say.
On October 20th, Canton-Galva third grade classes had the opportunity to see a local TV star. The children were thrilled at the chance to see Mark Larson, a meteorologist for Channel 12, up close and personal. Purpose of coming here today?
Today to be here at school was to talk about careers in meteorology. I also extended the invitation as far as, you know, do you want to have me come back to talk more about the weather at some time? And when I get called, I usually try to come, whether it's for a career talk or whether it's to talk about severe weather and safety or just weather in general.
The kids got to spend around an hour with the weatherman. He taught them a little bit about meteorology, then he gave them a chance to ask questions. The questions were, as average as what his favorite part of the job was, to as off-the-wall as what his favorite cereal was. Overall, the kids and Mark had a great time, and it gave us all a chance to learn a little more about predicting the weather.
Once again, FBLA had their annual pancake feed there at the high school. There, many people showed up to eat delicious pancakes, sausage, and eggs. Let's go see what these people thought of this thing.
For 11 years, FBLA members have pulled themselves out of bed on a cold October morning only to see Mrs. Votes once again in a state of hysteria. Just another day of school? I don't think so. It's the annual FBLA pancake feed. This year is held on October 9th. Students and their parents showed up early and often to pull together all the ingredients for another successful event. FBLA for the third year combined the pancake feed with a silent auction, in which community-donated items were auctioned off to the highest bidder. Once again, the money raised will help sponsor the National Fall Leadership Conference.
The main point of this pancake feed is for NFLC, which will be going to Wichita on November 5th and 6th.
And there will be motivational speakers and also workshops that we will attend. Also, there's a dance on Saturday night. This pancake feed will cover our hotel room and other things that we will need during that time. Yeah, we probably had about, I think our main goal was 400 people, but we only had about 300 come. We were kind of shy of what I really wanted to accomplish. But we were all around all right with the day. Kind of a beautiful day out, so maybe not too many people wanted to come inside and eat pancakes. Well, I've been here since 5:30, getting things set up and getting everything ready. So, but there was shifts where every 2 hours someone different would come in and work and relieve someone else so they could eat or leave and go do other things. I'd like to send a thank you out to all the parents that helped today, and also the FBLA members that came in and donated stuff and helped all day today. And also I'd like to thank the people from co-op. They donated the mats and utensils that we used today, and also the people that donated crafts. They had some really nice crafts today that people were silent bidding on. And
Halloween's here again, and all the little students from the grade schools dressed up and come to the high school. Let's go see what all the little critters dressed up like this year.
Ghosts and goblins rolled through the high school on Thursday, October 28th. The Canton Elementary dressed up in their best Halloween costume and showed off for us since Halloween was coming up. The elementary also walked uptown to scare the wits out of the business community. The Galva Elementary also spooked the town by roaming the streets just to show how spooky they were. On Friday, October 29th, FBLA held a carnival at Canton Grade School. The FBLA members dressed up in Halloween costumes and worked many different bits. FBLA has been doing this for years now, and they use this as a community service project.
And we had about over 150 children that attended that night, so we were really, really pleased with the outcome that came. Had many, many games, that different types of carnival games that the kids could enjoy, and we tried to vary it so that the little like 18-month-old maybe clear up to, we even had a few junior high kids come. Another big hit that we started the last couple of years is the haunted house, and where the FBLA members kind of create the spooky haunted house theme, and that always seems to, we had long lines all night on that. It was totally free, and we do it as a community service project because we do work for Go for the Gold in our local chapter, and in order to get that, we do have to complete various projects and always community services in there, so we always feel like this is a good service project.
They plan on doing this every year.